All right, we're back. Wow. I've been waiting for this moment all my life. You know that song? That's how I feel now. Wow. I really wanted to share it with Ivan, my experience. He's been teaching me and we never met. And I based my whole last 5 years on the things that I've learned, so I hope that he's gonna come back to the call. Yeah, and I'm there waiting for you. Just go back to the call again. He's just logging in. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Yay! You're
So
back.
Instagram has some limit. 45
So
minutes.
Instagram, if we do under 1 hour, then we can save to IGTV. If we do over 1 hour, then I think it cannot be saved. So that's the only limit.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm so happy to see you. You are so far away, but you're so close. You're right here.
Yeah.
Let's toss a card. You know, everybody who's seen these cards, everywhere where I go, I have them with me. I have like several kids left. Everybody just loved them. Everybody just like, oh wow, you know.
Yeah, actually, I'm now talking to someone to he wants to create an app, iPhone app.
Mm-hmm.
That might happen soon.
I was thinking, why not reprint a batch and do it? I think they would be really popular in Russia and Ukraine because people there, they love stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. Brother, I'm not the one who is doing it.
No, okay.
I have different things.
Okay, I'm picking. Ooh. This is, you know, the reality is amazing. It always hits you spot on what you are working through right now. You know, you always get exactly, well, at least for me, I always take out something that I can really relate to right now. Dissolving attachment. because I'm in the middle of something at the moment. So
the cause of our suffering is attachment. That's
yeah.
the cause. The cause of every misery is identification with something we are not. You see, how to get detached? It's really hard. It's really hard. You can detach from your coffee, but try it. You know, you can detach from people you love. Try it. You can, but try it. It's going to be hard because mind is going to give you really hard time with the guilt, with the shame, with the conflict, with struggle, with anxiety, with all kinds of things that is negative in nature, because mind does not like the change. Does not like
because to the mind, change is equal to death, right?
Exactly. And you're going to fight for your attachment. Even though you know you're attached to it, but you're going to fight for it.
That's what I'm doing now.
Exactly.
I mean, coffee,
Yeah.
Ivan, coffee, no problem. I quit coffee 4 years ago.
No.
I quit alcohol 7 years ago. I changed the whole diet. That's not a problem. But people who are close, who have a negative effect, for example, work that I don't like to do and things like that, you keep on doing it because of the fear of survival. And that's just being human being. How do you detach yourself and just maintain being a human?
Okay, you can be a human, and you know, you don't have to contemplate how to get detached from a person who is negative.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna work, because you might detach yourself from that negative person, but you're gonna attract another negative person you're gonna be attached to. So it's
Of course,
just circle.
because
The
all the
whole
shit
point
is, it's always you. It's always us.
you. So
Always.
the whole practice is being attached to your thought of that person that you don't like, you hate, you want to be detached from, because that person represents something that you own, you have, you are attached to. So it's not about being detached from the person that is negative to you. You are being reminded on that negative aspect inside of you that you are detached in your from your awareness. Now attach that to your awareness and detach from that aspect is the key. So how to get it? Just be aware of your thinking. What's negative about that person? What is driving you to think that the person it's there that's not helping you in a way to be yourself? It's absolute blessing and gift from divine. Thank you very much. You know, you acknowledge the person, you say thank you, but you address the attachment to your mind, and then you start reevaluating your own beliefs and your own definitions of yourself. You know, and how deep you want to go. Do you want to heal that aspect, or you don't want to comfort yourself? It's up to you, you know. But it's not the person, it's not the situation, it's not a reality, because reality is nothing else than a mirror of you. And if you ask mirror to blink, you can wait infinitely, the mirror will never ever blink. You have to blink first. You have to take responsibility. You have to examine the way you think and detach yourself from it. The whole point I want to say it here is, use your mind, but do not be used by your mind. And that's what I've been talking about, the point and the reflection of the point. That line, dot, and all the geometry that happens in external, it's just a reflection of the dot. It's you.
So the way to do this is to look at the card and, well, I have my own way of doing it. I just repeat the sentence on the card constantly and get into the mood. But is there another way to meditate on them?
Oh yeah, look at the dot in the middle. Oh yeah, it's you. It's a dot. It's the focus. It's the focus. That's where your attention is. Whole attention is the dot, and you know, energy goes where your attention is. You place attention to something you're not, you're gonna be that what you're not. You pay attention to what you don't want, you become that what you don't want. You pay attention to goodness, then the goodness is there. So attention is the force, is the energy, is prana. It's your consciousness in creative act of now. So pay attention to the dot. Do not look at the peripheral geometry. It's the peripheral vision that will remember every single brain, and your mind will remember every single aspect, every single color. Colors represents emotions and feelings, while the lines and shapes represent certain consciousness, aspect of consciousness, or certain thought that are divine in nature. Because thoughts can be divine in nature, but you have to create the thought, not to embed the thought from others, not to borrow the thoughts from others. So when you look at the dot, do not blink. Try not to blink. Try to be
I'm not blinking at all.
Yeah, and try not to talk, try not to make muscles. It's like meditation. And then you watch it for 5, 10, 15 minutes, how long you can hold the dot in your consciousness, in your awareness.
It starts to shift and
don't pay to
uh-huh.
anything else, just a dot. Just a dot. And after 10, 15 minutes, you close your eyes.
That's exactly how I did it.
And
I
then
mean, that's exactly how I did it the first time.
Exactly. What's going to happen?
You can see it inside of your mind several times.
You're going to see your mind, because the mind will remember every single dot of that two-dimensional image and embed that in itself. And you're going to see the image, or you're going to see the color representation of image, or something that is familiar to you, but it has resembles the image. And then you're going to see the mind there. For the first time, the mind is there, you are here. You're looking at mind. Usually we are immersed with our thoughts. We don't see our mind. We have concepts and ideas of our mind. But now you see it. And the thoughts will melt and move depending on geometry. Maybe spinning, maybe pulsating, moving around, colors melting and merging. And at one point, slowly, the mind will be blank. If you continue watching with no attachments, with no thinking, this is the practice. Now you separated yourself from the mind. Now there is a mind, there is that image representing the entire structure of the mind, and you're here neutral, just looking at it, doing nothing, even no emotions, no thoughts, no conclusions, no judgment, plain watching, plain witnessing. And at one point, blank. That moment is the moment to make an intent, not intention, because intention carries the tension, which is the property of the mind. Intent, which is pure heart. In intent is right now, my divine self. What do I want to be right now? What kind of aspect I want to express right now? The aspect of myself right now, because there are infinite aspects of yourself, because you live in 3D reality. You can't show your whole wholeness. You can only show one aspect of the wholeness in this reality. You see, and then the miracles start happening in your life. Then you can move the thoughts around. Then you can adjust the thoughts. You can realign the thoughts. You can use the thoughts when you need it. When you don't need it, you just switch the thoughts. You just delete them. You can invite them. It's like a fruit flies. Fruit flies. Have you ever wondered where the fruit flies comes from? No.
They just appear.
No, they don't come from place to place. They are not attracted by smell. They are not coming because, there is a food out there. Let's go on expedition. And no, they just appear out of nowhere because the condition was formed. It's like
that's true.
Plenty of flies. Look at thousands of flies around my apple. Even I closed all the doors and windows. That's how it goes. That aspect of yourself will be expressed in this reality, which you neglected, which you denied, which you forgot. And that's the time where you can start using the mind instead of being used by it. You can use the thoughts to designate, create, communicate, but you know that you are not your thinking. From that point, you know that every thought is an illusion. Yes, I can create with those thoughts, but out of my compassion and love, I'm going to use those illusionary thoughts in order to guide and to point to the certain aspect of the truth. But I'm not going to be attached to it. I'm not going to use it in any other way, like to inflict pain or suffering or manipulate. I am in ownership of those thoughts out of my compassionate recognition of myself. You see? So you're not going to be
Yes.
by your mind, but you're going to use your mind. And when the mind serves its purpose, then what do? It's
You
like
create. You create.
I'm writing with my pen, and when I finish writing, what do? I put it where I left it and go in my life. I use my mind the same way I use my pen. I use my mind the same way I use my car, but I'm not my car. And I don't drive my car, by the way. My mind drives the car. And I don't have to worry about it because my mind is my unconscious self already knowing how to drive car because it's mechanical aspect. But me, my consciousness, I enjoy the ride. I enjoy it and I can talk, I can buzz, I can listen, I can do whatever fucking I want while the mind is driving and the car is taking me to my destination. That's the property of the mind, the real property of the mind, to be used as not as you, but part of you in this reality, because you need the mind, you need your ego in order to live in this reality.
Yes. You need all of that.
You need all of it, but do not be attached to it. That's the whole point.
That is the message of this card.
Yeah.
I started to quit. No, what I wanted to say is that I got proof that the thoughts and everything that's running in the mind, that it belongs to the body. Because in the out of body, it's pure silence. There's not even the voice. When you produce the voice there, it's the body producing it. The communication is just without voice there. Sometimes when I was out of the body, I tried to communicate because there was someone in the room and I could hear my body talking because I was trying to communicate through the thought.
Body and mind are linked.
Yeah, sure.
Body is neutral aspect of divine. It's a vehicle, a temple, self-healing machine. When the body possesses the body, then that machine becomes a little bit, old-fashioned car that you have to push most of the time, because the engine does not work, or it's just like not really in full force. So the mind is a tool, but not you. You see, and it's really important tool. You see, but the whole point here is to detach yourself from the tool. See the mind as the beautiful instrument as it is, and use it when you need it. That's all. When you don't need it, just put it on the shelf and wait for another moment when you are going to be consciously active and wanting to create something, wanting to communicate, wanting to designate. Then you use your mind, use the thought, and then you, with reverence and compassion and gratitude, you send them. But do not send them out of your anxiety, because you don't know what you're doing. You're doing more harm. That's kind of spitting out, throwing out unconsciously, going around and raging and arguing and making things right, being revolutionary, all that, just spitting the thoughts, because the thought is nothing else than the energy in motion, and it can affect other minds there. And if I inflict the thought into your mind and infect your mind with my thought, then I'm causing harm to myself, because I'm doing it consciously. So I might come back and repair the damage because of my unconscious act. I have to repair the damage, as I said, when the Buddha hit himself,
Yes, I've noticed that. And I wanted also to ask you.
I just finished this. This is the karma.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
What is karma? Karma is nothing else than visions from your mind that has to be experienced. You had a vision, whatever your vision is, even to go into the war and kill other people, that's the vision. I want to be a warrior. Then you're going to come back. That vision, which is the mind vision, it has to be experienced in order to, at the end of the process, that you understand what you intend, what your intention is, and then, you know, say, okay, I learned something and I'm moving on. You know, repetition is the karma, when you repeat and don't learn. So if you want to learn, if you want to resolve the karma, all the karma in this life, do not have the mind visions, because the mind visions are the past experience that you have to go through. You can cut, shortcut, and delete all those visions, all those karmas, all those experiences that you have to go through instantly.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a vision of you, and you going towards that vision.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you're not going towards that vision. You are that vision. Now is the journey of that vision, nothing else. So you have to know your destination. You have to know where you're going and what you want to be and where you want to be. You have to, in order, but that has to come from the consciousness, not from the mind. Consciousness, because we are here fulfilling only one mission, and that mission is to be who we are, nothing else. Just to be me. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm coming. That kind of blank slate. I don't know anything. I'm behaving like I know. No, it's not. Go back to that original and discover that. But in order to discover that, you need to visualize yourself as from the consciousness, because you know you are here to fulfill the work, to finish the work. And that's gonna heal all the karmas, because then you are going towards it. Karmas are nothing. It's like a play. It's like passing, driving the car and passing by certain cows, and then you wave to them, and cows just move at you. It's not gonna affect you at all.
That's beautiful.
So it's the vision of fulfill your vision, and your vision is to be yourself. Who are you? Accept yourself, love yourself, be yourself, because you are divine aspect of now, because you live, for God's sake. Be grateful that you are alive, and that's the dot, because God is always grateful that God is alive, always aware of itself. Otherwise nothing would exist, would be able to exist without this primordial awareness that is embedded in all of us. So we have to be aware of who we are. By the way, you will never find yourself. You will never find who you are. And that's the trick. But you will
But
find,
if you find, then it's not exciting, right?
no,
It's not
but
exciting then.
the point is trying to find it, because it's infinite aspect of yourself. Infinite aspect of you. You know that you are. I don't know who I am, but I know that I am. And that's enough for me. And I love this. This is unknown. I don't know. I am unknown to myself. But I love it so much, because I'm rediscovering myself all the time. It's infinite process. And anytime I rediscover myself in other aspects, because it's infinite, the universe expands. And I create a field of goodness around me. I create a creative magic, beautiful magic around me, because of that quest, which is divine quest, because I'm rediscovering myself. Because I cannot discover myself. If I discover myself, I'm done.
Then there's nothing to do.
Nothing to do. That's why you dive. The whole point of spirituality is to dive into unknown. And unknown is inner. When you dive into that unknown self, with no conclusions, with no idea, with no concepts, with no theories, with no thinking, just pure surrender, pure trust, pure love for unknown. Because you know that you are alive. How do you know that you're alive? Because you're aware that you're alive right now. So if you are alive right now, you are alive forever. Awareness is the dot, infinitely present. And then all other dots are just a reflection of that primordial dot.
Ivan, we know that we are alive just because we're breathing. So by attention to the breath.
Or you are alive by seeing all the beauties and the movements of life. Or by hearing. Or those are instruments, but beyond the instruments, beyond all those body temple instruments, just if you can delete them, are you alive? Do you have awareness that you
There's awareness.
you are? That has to be cherished. That has to be taken everywhere with you. You can't forget that. You can't put it in the shelf for some time. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to use myself. No, no. If I'm talking to you and I'm talking to you, at the same time, I'm aware of myself. I'm aware of you. I'm aware of myself. And I'm aware of my mind who is talking. And because it's just play around. We are playing. We are conveying the message from the truth. So, you see, I'm enjoying the play. I'm enjoying the game. I'm enjoying this illusion by being aware of me, infinitely present within myself, because I cannot lose myself. I don't have to go to Himalaya to find myself. I can do it here because I just have to click into myself, include you and include myself. It's like two becoming one. So as I said, one dot and the other dot, it will come and form the circle, but that dot will come to itself at one point. It has to, because it is a reflection of that primordial dot.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
That's deep.
But it is
Can
deep.
you be aware of awareness?
You see how I did? This is tricky because, you know, consciousness and awareness, I don't see it as the same. I have to distinguish consciousness, separate them, awareness and consciousness.
Uh-huh.
Consciousness can be unconsciousness, you know, and consciousness cannot exist without others, without what I'm conscious of. I have to be conscious of you in order for consciousness to exist. So, you know, you have to be conscious of the cup, of the points, of other people, situations, your thoughts, your mind, your emotions, your body, your this. It's the consciousness in motion, trying to find, it's a hero journey, trying to find itself, trying at the end of journey to be conscious of itself. When I eliminate everything that I can, when I become conscious of everything that I can be conscious of, the cup
Mm-hmm.
and dot and you and this and that, all life experiences, then the point comes where I say I have to see and look at the one who is being conscious of all those things. So who is
Mm-hmm.
that one? And that being conscious of the consciousness
Uh-huh.
brings awareness. Awareness is the one. You cannot separate awareness into two. It's the one. Awareness is the one, that dot. You see, and consciousness is the expression of awareness. Because let's say awareness is the point and the consciousness is the movement of the point. And the mind stands in between, stealing the game and spoiling the game. You see, and making little, you know, little journey hard in order to learn. So nothing is wrong. It's all beautiful as it is. Even the mind in its own misery, it's beautiful. You see, because you can get out any moment, because that's divine grace. Right now is the portal. Because if you click with your awareness right now, if you become aware, when you become conscious of the consciousness and you become aware, everything is forgiven. No more karma, no more reincarnation. You're saved. You're illuminating with yourself. And you can choose then. Before that, we cannot choose anything. We are just playing with the choices, thinking that we are choosing, but we are not really. Because everything is planned already. And that plan, as I said, is just the journey to be yourself. That's the hero journey. I'm born unconscious in order to be conscious. And when I become conscious of my consciousness, then I attain awareness and I came home. So the dot expresses itself as the line, forming the circle and closing itself and coming back, absorbing. It's like explosion, implosion.
Well, then I have to tell you that you have definitely succeeded with me, because I love myself. It's recent, but I'm not like saying it. I really love myself, really.
Go deeper now. Go deeper, brother, and accept yourself in everything that you are, in everything that you've been, in everything that you're gonna be. You see, if you can turn back into your past and look at your past, you see, like your past is full of goodness and lots of shit, okay? And you're looking
Totally.
and you say, you know, what usually we do with the past, with our past? We got attached to it. We got affected by
Yeah.
because then we start judging. positive, negative, all the equations, and then you delete what's really painful, and you keep little pain there that you can bear, and you keep lots of projections there. You know, it doesn't really matter. Lots of abuses, lots of bullies, lots of misunderstanding, lots of unlove there, untrust. And what do you do with that? Running away, hiding, you know, ignoring. It's not going to help. It's going to follow you forever. My past is with me, always, always. But, you know, the point is, my past serves as a reference point. I'm not attached to it. It does not affect my moods and my psyche at all. Because my mind, I said to my mind, no, you are the past and you are not real. It's gone. So what do? You just say thank you. Thank you to your past.
Thank you.
Thank you. Because
thank you.
You are here because of your past. You are being present in your life because of your past. Without it, you will not be who you are right now. Whatever you are, however you are. Do you see the point?
I just looked, I have it here, let me show you. It's written right here. You see?
Yeah.
I just remembered it. Yes. Be grateful for everything, bad and good.
Grateful for your past. Be grateful for your future. And when you're grateful for your future, you're not desiring good or bad future. You are just grateful whatever future brings to you. When you're grateful to your past, when you're grateful to your future, inevitably you are going to be grateful to your life. That's the practice. Or you can be grateful to this moment right now. Inevitably you will be grateful to your past and future. It doesn't matter which way you go. The gratefulness is the secret key. The thankfulness. Thank you. Thank you. If I come and slap you, you know, you're not going to slap me back from this point. You're going to say,
thank you.
I deserve that. I was really being honest with yourself. You would say, I wanted to slap myself for a long time. Now, thank you. You slapped me. Because the divine is saying, you have a choice. Change, change, change. I'm going to give you a little, remember some events that you can ignite your psyche and your soul, and then you are gonna change. I'm gonna give you little glimpses here and glimpses of that of change, and you don't change. And at one point, divine is gonna say, I'm gonna slap you so hard that there is no way that you are gonna change, that you're gonna choose to change. You have to change, because that's the pre-planned. So we have opportunity to change so many times, and if you don't change by yourself, then divine will change you, because you are divine. So there's always that you have to move. There's no way to move backwards. There's only one movement upwards. Go and express yourself and finish this bloody circle and come back to yourself, because you are the one.
Yes, you are speaking exactly what's going on. I mean, there are many things that I needed to change in my life, but I was afraid, attached. And every time, every year, things are repeating, very similar. And I think I'm at the stage right now where I'm about to get really slapped.
You're going to be slapped, right? But when you're slapped, when someone, divine slaps you, then say thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Because you can't blame anyone but you. It's all you.
It is.
Yeah, it's always you. Yes. That's one thing I wanted to ask you about also. This is one side effect. The consciousness, awareness is that you see yourself in the mirror. You know these things. You have to live with them. You have to face them. This is what I've encountered. That, after becoming aware, it's okay. I'm not in the same pain as I used to be before physically, but emotionally, I'm much more emotional, much more open. And also, I can feel like people's thoughts. I know what they're thinking. I know what's going on. They go in from my mind, pretend like they're very similar to our own thoughts, but I learned to distinguish them. So just wanted to say that it's not easier, you know, to live with this awareness. I think it's actually much harder. But to me, the only difference is that it's real, it's honest.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
You see, brother, I went to Peru 3 years ago. I had a call to go to Peru, to go to ayahuasca, because I needed some answers, you know, which I was not getting from my meditation and my contemplation, or whatever you want to call it. So I needed deep dive into my psyche, not the mind, but the soul. I needed to drive into my psyche, my soul, my, in order to find an answer. So, and I came back from 14 days. I've been in the middle of jungle. Termites were building their little tunnel over my stomach while I was sleeping. And I didn't have walls. It was just mesh, just to protect me from wild animals. But it was like, wow. So anyway, I came back and I said to my beloved, honey, we have to run ceremonies. She said, what ceremonies? I said, ceremonies with psilocybin. She said, oh, I'm not ready yet. I don't know. Anyway, so 3 months later, because that Peru didn't give me the answer properly. It was like guided me to a certain point, and then I had to go and contemplate that, readjust myself, and go further into teaching, into revealing the message. And I went to Colombia and I stayed with Teta Juanito there, my dear brother, and then went deep into Yahe. I was shitting myself, puking, it, total melting of my own ego and my own construct, personality construct, really, even tiny little one. It's just like total, and emerging out of it, came home and said, hey, honey, Teta Juanito said that we have to run ceremonies. She said, oh my God, ayahuasca, Peru said, Teta Juanito said, you said, who am I to say no? So we start running ceremonies. So we are running every month. It's called Magic Witnessing Meditation. It's under introno.com, so people can go and see it.
Yeah, tell me, what is intronaut? I looked at that. What is intronaut?
There's astronaut. Astronaut is traveling outside, exploring the universe.
Yeah, I get that point.
Psychonaut is the one who is using the psychedelics in order to explore the other realities, like the realms. It could be imaginary, it can be high astral, low astral, it can be whatever. But intronaut is diving deep into your own self. You see. So I got this introno.com in England when they opened those .coms, and everyone, I was studying electronic publishing, at the university in Leeds, because we wanted to move to Canada. And I said, my wife actually said, you have to get something, just not to be crazy artist, something stable there that, we don't know whether we are going to succeed there as, what we do. So in a case that just to adapt, I said, no worry, I'm going to study further. I'm going to go into this digital reality and see what's going on there. But, and then, yeah.
How is Canada?
Oh, Canada. Wild.
Yeah, I can imagine. Never been there.
Yeah. So yeah, brother. So that kind of experiences. It's just like,
that's so funny that you mentioned ayahuasca, because I have a calling on it, and yeah, I might need it too.
yeah. So
I had a calling on it last week. So it was not that you told me. Last week I had a calling. I just, some things, you just can't go deep enough. It's impossible, I think, to go deep enough, no matter how many breathing exercises or meditation that you do. Because some things you want to work for the mind, You just can't.
No. So I've been running these ceremonies and with great success, but what I want to say here is the vision in Peru. The Peru, when I asked the question, I would like to understand the mechanism. Now I understand the mechanism of my mind,
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to understand the mechanism of divine, And before I ask them what's, the mechanism of divine, I would like an answer to this question: who am I? Because I don't know who I am. I'm okay with it. It's still there is that mind, a little wanting. No, who fucking am I?
Yeah. Yeah.
And at my I had 8 ayahuasca sessions, one after every night, one like just continuation of it. And one of those nights, I was pondering the question: is the same as you were doing, just asking and asking and asking and asking, just keeping the thought there, just one thought, just like
Mm-hmm.
wanting to penetrate into divine with one thought. And the vision came, and the
Mm.
like huge, big, massive snowball, came to me, and the voice, deep voice from above, below, I don't know, says, "Here's your original face." And I said, "Snowball?" He said, "It's snow and in shape of ball. I mean, that's my original face." He said, "Yeah, that's your face. Be creative." And it just clicked. And I said, "Fuck. I can create a nose, I can create a mouth, I can do whatever I want with the snowball. I can create any face, any personality,
Mm-hmm.
anything I want." But at the same time, wow, the snow is made from water, so water can change the shape, and it can be water, it can be vapor, it can be ice. It's
Mm-hmm.
stable. It's very fragile. So I
Mm-hmm.
create anything I want, and that what I create can represent me, or I can be attached to it. But beyond that, I'm infinite as I am. So next question, the mechanism of divine. And then that was the last ceremony. I was asking, I was not getting it. I thought I'm not gonna get it. And the last ceremony, I was there with mechanical octopus. Imagine a mechanical octopus. Imagine the octopus with all the tentacles. So every single thing, the cup, the cable, the maloka, people, they were all linked through this like tentacles. There is no tentacle that is free. It's linked with other body, which is above body and beyond body. So the tentacles were everywhere, moving with my breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And expanding, and the shape of colors, fragments of fractals, fractal geometries, kaleidoscopes, all the images, everything melting, merging, but breathing with my breathing, and nothing else happening, just being that present moment and witnessing the breathing coming and going, inside, outside, everywhere. And that moment of me being in the center of cyclones, call it typhoon, in the middle, because it's 0 point, and seeing all this breathing around and chaos and merging and melting. And I came out, and everything changed in my reality from that point. So many changes before, but this one was deep remembering of my own nature, deep remembering of my own quest when I decided to emerge into this reality and all other realities on this hero journey to find myself. Whether I found myself or not, I don't know, but I know that I'm happy being myself. So,
That's the most important thing,
I'm
is to
very
be happy that you are you.
myself. I'm really grateful, and I'm very grateful for being alive.
Me
Because
too.
you can say I deserve it. No, yeah, it's because that's Yeah, I deserve it. I deserve to be alive. Thank you.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned the octopus. You know, I'm very fascinated by the octopus, by the real octopus. And I thought that because I watched like a lot of films about them, they're really special animals. They're like really not from, I mean, they're really just different than everything else here on the planet. It's a really special animal.
Yeah, they are. Every animal is special. You know, when my kid was 8 year old, and my beloved and I were having discussion about the purpose of cockroaches. Now, they don't have any purpose. They're just nuisance. I mean, they survived nuclear war, but a cockroach. I mean, and my son was Kai. He was very young. He was listening to conversation. He said, every living being is meant to be here with particular purpose. You might not know the purpose, but the purpose is in being. And I was just like, oh my God, my 10-year-old is giving me a lecture about something that I was supposed to know. Ah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my dear son. You know,
The
everything,
kids are great
the
teachers.
purpose of everything is its being. And then I went further. Even the stone is meant to be, because the stone has its own being. We don't understand that. We cannot, conceptualize that. But it is the being that is related to me. It's giving me safety and giving me comfort. It's giving me place to stay on this rocky planet that I call my home. Thank you. Thank you. It's a living being. You know,
Yeah.
every little atom is a living being. Thank you. Every single neutron, every single plasma, everything. Even my negative thoughts. I'm very thankful to my negative thoughts. But I'm not using them, but I'm very thankful that I am capable of exercising those thoughts, because it's my power. Negative, positive. It's my power. I'm a triangle. There is a duality, positive, negative. There is attraction. And positive, negative, like magnet, they are creating the movement, because they are either, attracting or, extending or whatever, retracting from each other. So, and the third point is the middle, where the balance is. So to balance the equations, to balance duality, you have to figure out yourself as non-dual point. So
That's the middle point.
that's the middle point. The middle point
Now I understand
is the
what you
conscious,
mean by it. Mhm.
and the mind is polarity, positive, negative. And that's where the power is of this reality. Your real power is in that neutral point, where you use positive and negative, where you use your weakness and you use your strength when you need it.
Mhm.
You use no negativity, you use your positivity. You're going to use your anger. You're going to use your love, which is not real love, which is the mind love. Love contains the hate, darkness contains the light, all of those equations. So that's the power of this reality, and I'm using the power. I can be angry, but angry with consciousness. If I'm angry unconsciously, then I have to correct the mistake like Buddha did. You see?
Mhm.
So I have those two powers, and I'm in control, while not controlling, because that's what compassion and heart is, allowing things to happen. And if something is not aligned to my perception of goodness, because that's my reality, then I don't go there. I use those two energies to realign myself to goodness and to my reality, because which is not my reality, which is the reality of infinite. Because if I treat my reality with respect, then I'm going to be included in the wholeness. If I don't, then I'm going to be excluded. So it's all about self-recognition and self-love and not self-preservation, but self-acceptance. When you accept yourself in your all positive and negative, then you accept everything else in positive and negative. So this reality with masks and distancing and viruses is blessing in a way, because it is giving different choices for us, instead of relying on outside to go back inside and and change. That's why there's nothing positive, there's nothing and there's nothing negative. It's just energy in dance, in playing. And you are here main driver, or you are sucked in those two equations, lost, spinning like a pendulum, ping pong, you know, or going into your heart and using the mind.
That's, you know, so beautiful. You know, I came to the conclusion, you know, the Holy Trinity, the Holy Trinity. So you have the one that's thinking, and you have the one that you are thinking about, or the thing that you're thinking about, and then you have the choice.
Exactly.
That's it.
My grandma used to say, you know,
It's easy.
I came home after this, you know, school, and I was beaten by some kids, and I was crying with bruises or whatever. I would had fight, and she said, "Oh, how did you get up this morning?" I said, "I don't know, Grandma." How I got up? She said, "Did you start your day with left, you know, leg or feet, or the right feet?" I said, "I can't remember." She said, "I recommend that you start your day, you get out of your bed, and then you want to step on the floor and move, you know. Be careful. Don't start from the left, don't start from the right. Start from both and be aware. Now you have your power, you know, for the day. You know, if
That's
you
a
are
really good one.
left, it's going to be terrible. This might be good, but tomorrow is going to be terrible. So equations, you know, positive, negative, day good, day bad. And she said, and by the way, you know, you have, I can see that you have, you know, angel on one shoulder and you have a little devil on the other. They have all wings. One
And
is
they're whispering, here, go there.
Yes or no? That's very Slavic, you know, Slavic, you know, saying. And one is saying yes, another one is saying no.
No.
Even that one might say yes, and the other no. Listen
And
to
they
both.
argue.
She said, listen to both. They have something to say. Listen to both, but you decide.
The Holy Trinity, I'm telling you.
I said, bless you, Grandma.
Yeah, one here, one here. But
It
listen, it's no joke. I mean,
That
it's not
what
just Slavic.
yes. What
Yeah,
she
you know, it's not.
picked when I was 40-year old. I mean,
Mhm.
and it's like, oh. Anyway,
It's not just Slavic. I have an Arabic friend, and he tells me that they in their, you know, mythology, they have the jinns. They whisper to you.
mm.
But Ivan, one time I had an out of body, and I saw the guy who was whispering to me. It was me. It was a double. It was a shadow. He was just this. It was just like me. You know, he was just dressed in black.
You see, brother, there's no God. There's only you.
No, there's you. You are the creator.
It's
You are the God.
awareness, because you see, we are all different on circumstances. You know, your body is different than mine. Your mind has different concepts and ideas and thoughts, different structure than mine. Your emotions, by the way, emotions are not the feelings. Emotions are the chemical components in the body, hormones created by your thinking. That's how the mind uses the body, creating everything that you experience in your body linked with your thinking. If you see the stick on the floor and you think about the snake, you're gonna have body change immediately.
Sometimes you do think that, oh, that's a snake.
When you have anxious thoughts, of course body reacts. So, you know, so there is a mind which is different, the body is different, emotions are totally different, because you experience your thoughts differently than I do. Your soul, believe or not, is different than my soul. Your individual soul is different than my individual soul. But beyond all those abstractions, one thing, we are the same. Actually, the same. It's one. Your awareness that you are, and my awareness that I am, not knowing who I am and what I am or where I am, and also you not knowing where you are, whatever, that awareness is one and the same. And that's what God is. Awareness that I am, and being grateful, being in love with that, cherishing, remembering, always carrying that awareness that you are. Not this, not that, not good, not bad, not powerful, almighty, or going into with ego and mind, just pure awareness that you are. No thoughts, no emotions, no sensations, just awareness. And if you can keep that light infinitely present in this moment of now, then enlightenment is inevitable.
That's so beautiful. Look,
So
I think
don't ever forget yourself. And if you forget yourself, slap yourself hard. And remember, and don't feel guilty because you lost yourself.
feel good.
Say thank you. Exactly.
Ivan, thank you. I mean, I think I could talk with you like forever, but we're running out again. And
I'm building Maloka on my property. We just bought property in interior, so it's wilderness. I have to cut the trees and start building the Maloka for 6 people. I'm gonna build big Maloka later on for my internet project, but it's gonna be deep dive with Ivan Rados. So spending a couple of days with me and going into, I call it sensory deprivation temple. I'm building that as well. So 3 days in total darkness. Of course, I'll be there guiding people and helping. I love doing that. I love seeing people being themselves and coming to the beauty of themselves. I love doing that. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm in Russia. I'm in my trailer. You see, I'm in my trailer, as you can.
nice trailer. Nice trailer.
Yeah, got the kitchen and all of that. It's quite
Nice.
spacious. Yeah, and going in about an hour, so I have to prepare, brother.
That's okay. I'm gonna come and visit you, and this is a promise.
I know that you will come, and I'm gonna
because
come.
I always keep my promises. I'm here. Look,
you're gonna organize something at one day. I know that.
I'm here.
Wow, that's England. Where in England?
I'm in Surrey.
I used to live in Surrey. I used to live in Epsom.
Yeah.
I had friends there.
I'm in Guildford.
Guildford. I used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a couple.
But I saw. But isn't there a Surrey in Canada?
Yeah, it's just couple of miles from me, Surrey in Canada. Yeah. Anyway, I have to go. Love you.
Love you. Speak to you soon. This was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.